no response. Oh, I was a little bit. I was actually waiting for you to see how you respond to Craig coming in.
Look, she's a professional.
Hello, Craig.
Yo, what's up, guys? You got pokeaim here, and welcome back to The Lock with myself, pokeaimMD, and my co-host, Key. Of course, we do have a Twitter at The Lock Podcast. Feel free to follow us, as well as checking out the Discord that is linked there. But this week, we have a very special guest. I have used her music for years, and I am very happy that she is a part of the community. And I've also used her Sun and Moon trailer remix probably on almost every video for the past 3 months. GlitchxCity, aka Glitch, aka GlitchxCity, aka super talented. Say hi.
Hello.
Welcome to The Lock. I appreciate you coming through. Like I said, I've been using your music forever. It's like a huge part of pretty much everything, like my streams, my YouTube video, and I've always had a question about that, and that's part of the reason why we wanted you to lock. So when you hit us up, we're like, yes, Glitch, awesome. This is someone we wanted. Why? Like, what is the motive behind you essentially giving back? And Key and I were talking a little bit about this. And do you get something out of the exposure? Do you feel you get something, or are you just a really nice person that is just like, hey, I'm going to create this awesome content, and I don't want this to be limited to just my platform. If this can get out there and make someone else's video or content or project better, that is better for me. I just really want to know the why behind it. So feel free to take it away.
All right. So I didn't really set out for that to be the goal. It just kind of happened. Because when YouTube was a thing for the Pokemon community, it was completely different back then to where you can comment on people's channels and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I started out graphic designing on YouTube. Be like, hey, I haven't uploaded anything yet, but I have a little Photoshop experience. So if you want an icon or a channel banner, hit me up. But it's going to cost you a sub.
Oh my God. Vanessa.
Yeah.
She was an advanced sub for sub.
There's like a small percentage of people in the community that still remember me doing that, and they still have their icon. I'm like, what the heck? That's such a long time ago. And so when I eventually got into doing what I do now, I'm just like, why don't you guys just use this for your videos and stuff? Because, this is when the YouTube and Google merge happened and everything changed. So a lot of people got copyright claims and stuff, and they're like, I need music to use. I'm like, here you go. And I just rolled with it. I didn't really start monetizing it off of the platform until 2015, maybe. But what really made my channel stick out from the rest of the music channels in general is that I offered free use of the content. Obviously, just give credit, because if you offer quote unquote free product, people are going to keep coming back to you and support what you're doing because they like said product.
I agree completely. I mean, that's what I've been doing for years. I didn't realize that you only recently started monetizing. That's really interesting to me. I know that when video games, for us, started being monetized around 2011. So the fact that you took an extra 4 years from them, that's really interesting. How did you actually just get started itself with music? Because I'm trying to figure out, how did you jump from graphic design, hey, sub to my channel, to I'm gonna add this little mix right here to this Pokemon piece and see what I can do from it.
All right, so do you want the full story about my background in music, or just music on the channel?
Take everything. Give us everything. This is we want to know. I want to know the person behind Glitch.
All right, so I actually got a really late start in music. I didn't start playing the piano until I was age 13. I went to a family reunion somewhere in Dallas, Texas, and I don't even remember her name, but it was one of my aunts. She had a 61 Casio keyboard, wasn't weighted, and I was 13. I was going through puberty. I didn't want to talk to people. So I'm like, I'm just going to play the keyboard. And so I just started playing random root themes from Pokemon because that's all I could figure out in my head. And then my aunt was like, she has a talent. And she was talking to my mom saying I should go to piano lessons and stuff when I get back into town. And I had one lesson with a piano teacher. I did not like her. I never went back. And so I started to self-teach myself after my mom got me a used keyboard. The first piece that I set myself to learn was the red, blue, yellow, train and battle theme. That was like the most challenging thing I've could have done as a beginner, but I was just so keen on learning it. And at the time, there was one guy on YouTube that put out a video of him actually playing the entire train and battle theme with the intro and everything. And I'm just like, this dude's a musical genius. How do I do that? And I was able to read sheet music, but not fluently because of my background in choir. I was only able to read one line at a time instead of both the treble and the bass line. So I had to basically reteach myself how to read sheet music. Even so, to this day, like I'm not as fluent as I want to be, but I can make my round a piece of sheet music, whatever. And so I settled to learn that piece of red, blue, and yellow. It took me about, I want to say roughly 2 months to get the intro down. And then, from then on, it was pretty basic, like your basic bass notes and then just the main melody that you hear. And then I started learning anime openings because obviously we were all going through our Naruto phase.
Yeah.
So I set out to learn all the Naruto openings and the endings, and then eventually more video game music as I went along. At the time, I was entering high school, and I picked up the Pokemon manga series to read just to get through high school, whatever. And on YouTube, this was around when Heart Gold Soul Silver was starting to become a thing. pokeaimMD Studio was doing a lot of Pokemon remixes, and I just gravitated towards that because he was doing something that I resonated with, like it's Pokemon and it's music and it's good. And so I will listen to his stuff while reading the Pokemon manga. And when I started to, well, here's the thing. I had like a bazillion YouTube channels before I finally settled on GlitchxCity. And when the merger happened between YouTube and Google, I ended up losing my previous channel, which had a bunch of copyrighted stuff on it, mostly Naruto and Linkin Park. I was one of those people.
Oh, Lord. That's an edgy combination.
AMV people. She's one of those AMV people.
Yes, I was. Downloaded them from LimeWire and everything. But when I finally settled on GlitchxCity, I knew I wanted my channel to be surrounded by Pokemon. I just didn't know what. So I went from like manga reviews to like a Let's Play that's no longer live on YouTube, thank God. It was like speed arts of like that crappy graphic design I was doing. And then I downloaded Mixcraft and I'm like, let's try this Pokemon remix thing out. Looking back on it, it's terrible, but at the time I thought it was great. And then I continued doing that and then eventually got the same program that pokeaimMD Studio used, which is FL Studios 10. And I stuck with that, kept doing what I was doing, and we ended up here. And I made a lot of connections by doing the graphic design, because like by that time I was already like making friends that way, be like, hey, you're kind of cool, whatever. And back when Skype was a thing, we have Skype groups and stuff. And it just kind of snowballed from there, It's like if there's a new game release, I was on it.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, that's the truth. I go right to you when something gets like, I saw you uploaded something today. I was like, oh, I gotta hear that later. Hold up, that's video material.
Hey.
Did you this is, I'm gonna ask you some more stuff out there, but I'm just looking at your channel right now because I'm looking at the Ends Castle Bridge Symphonic Remix.
Oh my God.
but right before that, I see just some random Avatar The Last Airbender arrangement. So I'm just looking at your old, channel while we're doing it. Did you actually make your banner and everything too? Was that like is that your graphic work?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love how, you found this connection through Pokemon and you resonated with pokeaimMD Studio, somebody, who I also loved their remixes back in the day. Don't know what happened to them, but, awesome work. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that happens to everybody. But I've also loved how you, I feel like you've been more true to yourself too, as of recent as well with this. Because you used to have, I think, a specific style or back in the day, and now it's more like, I want to do lo-fi, I'm doing that, or I want to make a more like chill remix than that. But I love how, in general, these are just observations I've made. I love how you've been able to grow based on this, and I feel like you really are part of the reason why a lot of the Pokemon community comes together, right? I'll upload a song, right? And I'll put, hey, this is Bobby Glitch. And I'll obviously link in the description, YouTube channel. And someone's like, hey, what is this? And I was like, hey, this is GlitchxCity's Abandoned Ship remix, Ruby and Sapphire. Like, oh, I'm gonna check it out. And like, I love how I can just, like I said, hop on stream. I can be live for like 3 hours and I'll literally play just your song remix and thing. And at this point, I kind of memorized most of them just because I started from the beginning going to the end. So I really do love what you do. And it seems like it's just because you do it because you love it. Like that's it. And like the fact that people come back to you, obviously that's its own reward, right? So does exposure, because we've had, Kina and I have had conversations with people about being paid in exposure. And sometimes there's some negative connotations with that, obviously, right? You know, if you're working with like a huge company, get your money, right? They deserve to pay you. But do you think is that like enough for you in this case? Or like, how do you feel about that in general?
Well, now that I'm older and more mature to understand the importance of bills, it's never enough. Back then, before, I want to say like 2014 was definitely the turning point for both me personally and my channel. 2014 was a turning point because that's when I started to realize, hey, I have a talent in this and I'm able to make money off of this. Let's see how far I can take it. And it was basically something to prove to myself. And before then, I was honestly so against like completely monetizing what I did because I just loved it so much. And back then it was frowned upon being a quote unquote sellout. I was one of those people that believed in, you shouldn't put the money before your content, but now it's more of a balance. And now that I've like been through the road of life, I understand the importance of getting paid by exposure first. Like you should always do what you love, just out of pure love, and then just monetizing your love while still having your same passion and trying to make the community around your passion, leave it better than you found it.
I'm a big fan of that. You know, you start off something as a hobby and, you know, you make something. That's why a lot of people have side hustles, and the dream is for it that side hustle eventually turns into something. But at first, I mean, you got to work your 9 to 5 while you're doing it. But eventually, you know, it becomes this. Just imagine, 10 years ago, someone telling you, and you just, playing Pokemon on your keyboard. Hey, you're gonna make money off of this, and this is ideally how you might be able to survive off of this too. Like things like that. I feel like it's like a wow, really? No way. This is just something I love. But I mean, if you're good at something, I don't feel like you should do it for free, right?
Yeah.
But I still think that it's incredibly, like, I admire the fact that, you're still one of those channels that, hey, you can use my music without asking me as long as you leave that link in the description. And I do feel like, that has benefited you. Obviously, you've grown as a channel.
Definitely in the long run, yeah.
Yeah. But I also feel like in general, you still would have grown because your music would still be out there and people love remixes. People like music, right? So people would look it out. So I always think to myself, I was like, how would this have been? Would I have had to sneak her music if if she didn't allow it? Would she be claiming it?
Is that how it would have went down? You would have just used it like
I feel like it, bro.
I think that's how it actually went down.
That seems like how it would usually play out.
No. Like it started off like that because I didn't make it the goal. I think someone actually did what you just said, and someone informed me, and I was like, huh, you know what? Why not just let everyone use it? And then it just went off from there.
And I mean that change of heart, that thought, whatever it was, it obviously just paved the way.
Somewhere down the line, I would have personally decided to put some part of it behind a paywall, whether that would be like charging for royalties to use it in something, or just like selling a particular remix to somebody who commissioned it or something.
I think Glitch actually does do commissions, if I'm not mistaken.
I do.
Because I was reading our DMs when we were talking with each other, and right before that we were talking about a Whitney kind of remix.
Oh yeah, bro, that was a minute ago.
I never got it. I'm just saying that. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna say right now, I never. She never did it. I don't hate you for it because your Game Corner remix was my intro for a long time. So
that is true.
It was like that was Glitch, right? So. But I do think that. What is your thoughts on that though? Like monetizing that on top of, and obviously you monetize in forms of ads, and I'm not sure on the actual legality behind it. I mean it's legal. I'm sure otherwise your channel would be taken down. But what are your thoughts on actually like putting certain things behind paywalls, especially like this? Do you still take commissions? And I'm just like curious to see your thoughts on that.
Well, first off, remixes are legal because it's considered by the US government, technically, when it comes to music distribution, as a cover. So that's your loophole around it. And every time I submit it through a store, it's considered a cover. So that's just for anybody who wants to get their stuff out there. It's just that if you use certain samples, you have to check somewhere if you're allowed to use the samples or you can transform those samples. So anyways, besides that, I do take commissions. I don't make it public because then I would just get bombarded with commissions. But if you go out of your way to literally just go in my channel description, look in the about, grab my email and send me an email, that means I know you're at least serious about, commissioning me. I do monetize off of YouTube because obviously like it's whatever, it's YouTube. However, I don't put it up on YouTube Music because then it basically puts it in the category to where if anybody uses this mix, they would get automatically claimed. Yeah, that's why I avoid YouTube Music and just put everything in the gaming category. That's the last thing I want to happen. If somebody gets claimed for using a piece of my music in their Let's Play or update video,
you could shut down half the community if you.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like I got like over 3,000 videos, and I'm pretty sure 2,500 of them would just be gone.
Yeah.
Nothing else plays out. You can always just start extorting all the PokeTubers.
And I hate that because, when MCNs were like a big thing, there still are now, but their selling point to me was that, so many people use your music without your permission. We could easily put a system in place where we can claim all those videos. Like, no, that's not what I want. No, if we do that just by a single click, that will literally destroy a good chunk of this community. Let's not do that.
You know how many Let's Plays would just like be completely removed from the. Like at least the audio would be cut from like 90% of Let's Plays and Showdown Live. Yeah, and every single Showdown Live.
Yeah.
It'd just be like a giant scar up on YouTube.
You see all this drama come up. Glitch has changed. Why this is bad.
Driven by the money. You put on drama alert. Keemstar asks, so what made you do this? And I'm like, well, there's this one person. I had bills, man. Student loans are a thing.
That's
yeah.
It still is just really cool. Like especially like getting to hear this as well. That you seem like a genuinely nice person, right? Right. Obviously, like I know this based on like little tweet interactions. Like, oh, okay, this person's cool, right? But I mean, good putting up a facade. But like just to hear it, like behind this, because I always had been curious. Because I don't know if I could put out basically everything I put out. I've had people approach me and say, hey, can I rip your entire video and then re-upload it and put Chinese subtitles and upload it to this Chinese forum? And I was like, why don't you just give me Chinese subtitles for it and I'll put it on the video itself? Why do you have to take my entire video and put it? I don't like that. You're messing with my money.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. They're not going to go to me if they don't speak English. They're going to go to whatever forum you're putting it on, right? I don't know if I could like personally be like, hey, you could take my entire creation and use it. Like, but it just says something about you. And I don't know if it's just go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, it's like because I thought about it for a while before I made the jump to digital platforms like Google Play, iTunes, and Spotify. I know I will get the return investment. I hate to sound business-like, but you get the return investment anyways when you allow people to use your music because it's a never-ending cycle. People are going to get curious and they're going to come back anyways to the source. And then if they want to go that extra mile, there's ways available to them to where they can go the extra mile. So I always get the return investment because I put the content out there free of use, given credit.
So, are you collecting like residual income from all the other platforms you upload? Is that what you?
Yes.
So, if this were me, and this is me probably injecting too much of a business mindset into what you're doing, but like I would probably just end up putting previews or something on YouTube where I get lower CPM, and then uploading the full length thing onto a different platform where I get higher payout for it. Does that make
I
sense?
do.
Like, so that
I do that for example, like Game Chops, but because, like, for example, like the digital stores are in the same category as YouTube. Nothing is stable. Everything fluctuates. There's not like a set amount. For example, Spotify is it's spotty. It's spotty. So until either platform gets like a stable number where I can lean on saying, hey, I can get away with just putting like, a time frame on this instead of just uploading the full track here, then I would do that. But because both, like, all the platforms are unstable without a certain number, I can't really afford to do that.
that makes sense. For us, it's like for the podcast anyway. For what I can see is like the payout from them listening on any other platform. It's like just way more significant than YouTube. Like
YouTube doesn't make it. YouTube doesn't make a dent.
Like with a couple thousand downloads on a different platform, you can make like at least fill your wallet with like a few 20s or something. But like a few thousand like YouTube views is nothing. It's like
it's not gonna get you.
It doesn't even make the mark. It doesn't show up on the charts.
It's actually worse for my channel because it does less.
What is the podcast like listed under? Like what category? If like it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. It's on YouTube and it's on
What do you list
Spotify,
on
iTunes,
YouTube?
Bro, I put this on learning. Sometimes I put on entertainment, depending on the podcast.
Learning is a bit
yeah,
a bit of a misleading.
Well, it depends on the topic. It depends on the topic. Like the nappy one, I put that thing on learning because we learned the truth about nappy.
No, you should put that in entertainment, man.
Could not have put that, but yeah, it's weird. Depending on the topic at hand, I usually change it around. Like here, I don't want to mess with putting it on music because that's not entirely truthful.
Yeah.
To
we have it on our actual RSS feed. It's listed as like a society and culture, I think.
Yeah, it is. And when I upload it to SoundCloud, I typically just put entertainment because I don't know what else to put for it. It's really weird. Like I think it really just depends on what I feel like.
Also, like we're kind of all over the place depending on the guest as well. It's like depending who's on the episodes really kind of determines what the.
Yeah, I feel like earlier on too, and this is something interesting too. Like we obviously, we passed the 6 questions, so we have that little picking the lock end segment that we're finally gonna call it that. By the way, shout out to the sub that gave us that idea. But we used to have like entire like drafts of what we wanted to talk about, and we would give it to the person we were talking with. And now we're kind of like still feeling out what we want to do. Like I feel like we're still not 100% on what we want. Like I love obviously
I told her before we started, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just winging it, my guys.
I mean, that really is what it is, though. At the end of the day, it's just us talking and just trying to figure out who the hell people are.
I still have a little outline in my head, but as far as what I'm actually gonna say and what questions to ask, I'm just feeling it out.
Yeah, sometimes I say something and I'm just waiting. I just pray like, okay, Key, light your bike better light up, bro, because I need you to take this away and segue into another conversation. That's just like how it be. It's not hard to talk, but it's hard to figure out what you want to talk about sometimes.
It's like trial and error. I mean, I can tell you right away, you're going about it the correct way, feeling it out, trial and error. Pick out key things from each session that you want to keep permanently.
Yeah, I mean that's literally I think what it is. I appreciate that. I mean, the worst thing we could do is just talk to each other and not upload. In a sense, I mean that's not the worst thing to do. That's friendship.
No, that is the worst thing you can do. I said it the other day whenever we were talking in the heat. Like sometimes
the worst thing you can do.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sometimes we're having a conversation and then afterwards I'm just like I'm a little disappointed that we didn't just have this verbally in podcast instead. Like, because we're not gonna be able to replicate that whole conversation. It's gonna be inorganic. It's gonna feel forced. Can't.
I mean, like the worst thing that can happen is that nobody talks.
Yes.
That's the absolute worst thing that can happen.
That is an absolute nightmare. I would leave the call and pretend that computer crashed or something. I couldn't stand it.
Luckily, we have the magic of editing to like take that part away. But like, obviously, you'd feel it in the air. Like, damn, what do we talk about?
Oh yeah, movie magic. I am removing silence in post.
So I guess going a little bit back to you, I just wanted to learn a little bit more. What made you change to like more like a lo-fi style? Is this just like a personal mood that changed? I just I noticed it obviously. It went from more that Undertale beat, and then it goes from more like just really chill and like what made that change? What brought that about around you?
So on YouTube, I don't know when they started popping up, but I started listening to the chilled cow streams early last spring, and I just really gravitated towards what that was. I'm like, what is this? Lo-fi? It's like a mixture of, it's basically just a different subgenre of hip hop. It's more retro inspired. I think that's the word I'm looking for. It's like a mellow feeling that you can either sleep to, study to, kind of like an ASMR kind of thing, but with music. And I wondered if I could do something with that with Pokemon, and Lily was basically my test subject. And it gave me an excuse to touch themes that I wouldn't usually touch in my usual style.
So I guess you just brought something that you ended up starting to like, and you just created a new product that it's nice. It gives a really I like that you compared it to ASMR. It gives a really like warm feeling when you're listening to it. So like you'll feel a little bit of nostalgia, but it's more like, oh, this feels comfy. It's like someone giving you a hug, or like a cat, like wearing you just put on like GlitchxCity thing and someone's hugging you.
That's gonna be, but that's what I type in the search bar whenever I'm in YouTube. I'm like,
music that makes
me feel hugged. Lonely playlist.
Should I start putting on the tags?
Lo-fi hug to be sad to.
And it's also like another way for me to learn a different genre, because for when I started out, it was a little bit of orchestral, but I gravitated a lot towards dubstep because dubstep was like popping in 2011, 2012. Then it just went to a little bit more of EDM, and then just chaotic EDM, and then electro house. And then I went through my orchestral phase for a while. Still am. I always love doing orchestral pieces. They're so fun to do. And then I went to this trap style for about a year. Still love it. I still consider it like a subgenre of hip hop, but you are able to add the EDM aspects of it. So it left a lot of room for improvisation, which I really liked. And then I went back to my ambient house style for a little bit. And then, not to say that I got tired of doing my new style or my old style, it's just that I wanted to learn more styles so I can just expand my knowledge on genres and just put it into practice, which is what I'm doing with lo-fi. I got more exposure to just the hip hop genre as far as producing, a little bit more into the trap genre, and definitely jazz. I actually learned the music theory behind jazz chords through lo-fi.
Ooh, I like that. So you're expanding your skills in just other things by basically just learning music and doing what you love. That's sick. That's absolutely amazing. And I do like the fact that you brought up like it's not necessarily you're bored, but I mean I think especially now is a time more than ever. Like with YouTube, with the algorithm changing and all the things, why not change up like and try new things and see how it ends up working out.
The jazz stuff hits, bro.
Yeah.
I'm playing, it's now it's in my head. For so many years, I was somewhat interested in jazz, but like I couldn't find the kind of jazz that I knew I was interested in, because my first exposure to jazz was like Hey Arnold transitions. Oh my god, those things hit. I was like, that's the kind of jazz I want to listen to always. But I found it with the lo-fi jazz hop chill beats. Oh my god, that's as close as I can find to.
You're just getting hugged
to the Hey Arnold jazz.
Yeah. Getting hugged while people are snapping near you.
That's my jazz hugs.
So in terms of this, I don't want to. Well, I do. That's the point of the podcast. What is this? What has this done for you? Besides, I mean, obviously, you're getting paid through it, but like, what other opportunities has this music brought for you? Besides that, like, I would like to know a little bit about the connections, if you don't mind, like outside of YouTube.
Oh, sure. Well, one thing that I will always be grateful for just YouTube in general, the ability to travel. Because the first trip that I took by myself was to PAX East 2014. Like, I was so anal about having everything right. Like I booked my flight like 7 months ahead of time. I got my own hotel and everything. I bought my tickets before I knew media was even a thing and stuff. I was in like a Skype group and everything, making sure like, we can meet up, have dinner, all that jazz. And the biggest thing for my channel to this date that I will always be grateful for was being involved with the production for Pokemon Symphonics. Like that's basically the turning point of both me and my channel because I was put in a position where I was able to move out of my parents' house and into my own place where I can just freely do content and also attend school, which honestly got in the way, but that's a different story. And I basically not like I helped promote Pokemon Symphonics. I was able to meet the Junichi Masuda twice.
That's awesome.
Like I will be forever grateful to that team. Shout out to Gerald Moore. He is a great producer. Shout out to Chad Sider. He was the arranger for Pokemon Symphonics. Great people, great team. I had a terrific time.
And that's just like when they do the it's the music concerts for Pokemon, right?
Yeah. They were the same group of guys that did Zelda Goddesses of the Symphony.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Travel, Pokemon Symphonics, and just meeting and talking to people. Because when I meet up with people, for example, like PAX, they ask, hey, what kind of content do you do? If you're at PAX, the general response would be Let's Plays or theory videos. When I say, oh, I do, now it's video game remixes instead of just Pokemon, they're like, what? What's that? That's interesting. It's something that sticks out to them because they don't hear it often. So because my content is so niche, that gives me like an edge up over other things that they would hear throughout the day. I'm trying to think of what else. YouTube has been just YouTube in general has been like a big part of my life. Like I got to meet the staff. I was actually brought out to HQ earlier this summer to talk about the changes in YouTube and stuff, how we can improve it. And like all the different programs that they have for creators as well. And YouTube has allowed me to move from Texas to California, which is another big plus. And then I got involved in esports through Overwatch because I play Pokemon. The only creator that was playing Overwatch before it went live was Kristen, aka Cuddle of Death. She was the only one that I can remember back to date that she was heavily promoting Overwatch along with her Pokemon content. And I would say because of her, I got to dip my toes into Overwatch, would dip my toes into esports, which, I work for an esports team, Team Liquid.
Yeah, aren't you on Team Liquid?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing.
Because of YouTube, it helped me get that position because I learned everything about, running and being part of community from YouTube. And I'm bringing all of that knowledge to Team Liquid to help with their community. So
I love that that's all self-taught, right? Like that's all self-taught. Okay. Yeah, just making sure I didn't miss out the part where like, yeah, I went to business and got a bachelor's and did all this to learn how to run Team Liquid. I'm just it's
my bachelor's is in computer science, has nothing to do with what I'm doing now.
That's amazing that you were just able to. All this just comes from liking Pokemon and playing a panel and saying,
we took a different route, huh? I feel like our content appeals to a more degenerate audience than I don't feel like we can get that many opportunities as she's afforded herself.
That's still incredible though, like how, and I did like what you pointed out about at PAX when you're talking to people. Yeah, I do video game remixes because I mean, when they're all PokeTubers going there, like, yeah, I upload LPs, yeah, I shiny hunt, yeah, I upload LPs, yeah, I shiny hunt. You might find once in a blue moon, yeah, I battle, probably not, probably won't find anybody saying that. You probably won't, but like, I do video game remixes. Hold up, it's like you have like all these gyms in the crowd and there's like a Carol like, oh, okay, let's talk to this person because all the other people are the same. So like a spotlight on you, I imagine, that type of thing. And I have seen a lot of your Overwatch clips as well that you post on Twitter as well. Is this, so from this, I mean, obviously this is a long-term thing for you, right? You're not planning on, okay, next year I'm going to give up and turn everything. I'm not going to
Nice.
upload.
Flipping houses.
Yeah.
YouTube game.
I mean, at least flipping houses in that regard. I think real estate and having investments is super important, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Definitely.
But this is something. I mean, you're clearly paving the path for a long-term thing. You've already acquired a job outside of what you do, and I think that's super important too. So you're still able to do what you love, which is uploading the remixes. I mean, I feel you love that. If you don't love it, keep it. Don't break my heart. So I can really get in one of the episodes. But you're still doing that, and then you have this other job on the side, and I just think that's super cool. Do you have any advice in terms of that for even for me, right? Maybe for me out there, or for just other people out there who are maybe content creators and also working on things like how to make these connections and things like that. Do you have is there anything like you could say about that?
I just thought of this in my head. Keep your goals realistic, but don't give up on your dreams.
Okay.
Another thing is, because you mentioned networking, if you're a content creator and you plan on investing in it, whether it be part-time or full-time, you have to learn how to network. I cannot stress this enough. Like, that is your bread and butter of your career.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, that's how you survive. You work with those people, you grow. Now, I have another question, because I've never been to PAX, but I obviously have a lot of connections in the community because I just talk to people.
Wait, you never been to PAX?
No, I've never been to PAX.
Could have sworn. Wait, have we not met?
We have not met.
What?
Unless you went to Apex.
No, I did not go to Apex.
Saw somebody else with a really strong jaw.
Joey.
It was like a Garchomp cosplayer.
And the guy just kept playing it off. Yeah, hey, Glitch. Oh,
drop
awesome.
a Draco.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, like, do you think that's super important? Like, because we're at the day and age where I don't really have to go outside if I want to talk to companies and different people. We have
Discord been outside
here.
In 3 years.
Thank you, Keith. So you think that's super important? Like, part of the reason I haven't gone to PAX is, well, one, the money, and two, I don't want to get sick. Personally, I've seen
I actually got like deathly sick last year. I was out for about like 3 weeks. It was terrible.
I heard it gets weird at PAX. That's just me.
Yeah, that's also there have been a lot of stuff that came out in the community that's
why we say
PAX.
No new friends. That's the motto, no new friends.
Absolutely that.
I would say it shouldn't be at the top of the list, but you should understand the importance of that face-to-face interaction with someone. I
agree. Like, I mean, because certain companies, like I said, I've put myself out there. I've reached out to company. I've talked to people, and I have friends in different communities, not just Pokemon, obviously. Because the great thing about Nintendo is it brings you together with people in the Smash community, and Pokemon is so weird too because it's not weird. It's just
no. Go ahead. You said what you meant.
The connections it makes. Like, you never know, like, who the hell you'll meet because of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll take a name like FaZe Banks, for instance, watches my videos. And I'm like,
we
what?
name dropping.
Oh, dope.
Thunder Blunder 777.
And he's been like a friend of mine for years, and I've never met him IRL, but we've spoken a couple times, and like, it's just interesting, like, the opportunities that your hobby, which is now obviously my job, has created. So I just wanted to know the importance that you think of. I know connections are super important, but what you think about, like, physical, like, I think also networking is a lot of, especially when it comes to Twitch, hopping on other people's streams and talking to them, hosting them, right? Like, I know, like, hosting people is huge in terms, whether it be bigger or smaller people, like, just having that. I used to think of it back in the days, I'm growing my army, like, as a joke. I'm growing the Joey army. If I went to war with somebody, who would be on my side in this community?
It can be dangerous, man, to go out there and try to meet them face to face.
I'm saying, bro.
I can't promote that.
I host them here. Hey, no, my stream was good. Thank you for asking. I love your thing. Oh, let me use my Twitch Prime on you. That's a friend for life, maybe. Hold up. But yeah, I just want. There's obviously no cynical. There's no ulterior motive behind it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. If I have viewers, I can bring somebody else, and I help somebody else. Awesome. But I do think there is an importance in networking. And, I printed out like 1,000 business cards a couple of years ago and never really gave them out. It's not like I'm gonna give them to my friends. They know all my accounts.
Why are you not giving them out, bro?
Where am I going? Like when I went to
Bro,
a
I would
VGC
everybody I hit. I'd be giving them out at the grocery store. I'd be giving them to any kid
No,
I
like,
see. Like,
I've left them in like
anything.
when I went to get my phone, upgrade my phone at Verizon, I left them in their little business card thing. When I went to like a VGC event, I gave it, but a lot of the people at the VGC event already knew me, so it was like, I don't really need
No,
this.
here's what you do. You start bringing your business cards when you go out to restaurants, so you can leave it with the bill.
Absolutely.
Bill and tip, yeah.
I felt like if my content was more relatable to human beings, it's like. It's like
You've just insulted the entirety of
I have not insulted.
But it's true.
This is a very Pokemon. I think a lot of people in the world obviously love Pokemon, right? But
yeah, they have like some connection towards it. Like everyone knows who Pikachu is.
Exactly. But music,
competitive Pokemon's even more niche than just.
I'm saying their competitive Pokemon might be, oh well, yeah, I can tap this and let's go, and or in Pokemon Go, and my 13 out of 15 Tyranitar is amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. My level 100 2v2 T-Tar is a little bit better. Like,
oh, bro,
like,
I hear those people talking. I'm like, bro, they don't want it. They don't. I'm not gonna introduce them to the real game because they can't handle me. I can tell right now they don't have what.
I'm just saying, like, if Glitch did that and she went to a restaurant and she left her card, I think there's a lot more to gain, right? Because like video game remixes and stuff, that's like, oh, okay, cool. Or just music remixes in general. That stuff is fire. I guess that's like, oh, okay, yeah, like nostalgia, Pokemon. Okay, like I love Pikachu. Let me get that Route 1 remix. Like, oh,
bro, you were interning at Google though. You should have been leaving those things all over the place. You should have been leaving those every corner, every nook and cranny. They'd be finding those things years after I left.
Diggity dang.
Hey man, like a lot of things I did. I wasn't as smart, I feel, back then. Luckily, I decided to continue what I was doing, and it became what it became now. All right, let's another question. Future plans when it comes to this. What do you see yourself doing? Like in terms of uploading, you don't have a schedule, right? You just do it when you feel like it, or is it just like that type of thing? And like, what do you see yourself doing? A couple years from now, when it comes to this. As I said, I feel like you're already paving that path, right, for what you want to do. I just wanted to, if there's anything else in the works for you. If you can't talk about it, then maybe I shouldn't have asked you. But like,
no, it's all good. So one of my end goals is to make content creation across all platforms better for newer content creators, or like the next generation of content creators. That's one of my goals, because obviously we were going through the struggle. We're still going through the struggle. We're basically the pioneers of this industry. So I feel like it's low-key our responsibility, but it's not heavily weighted as our responsibility to make sure that, not saying that we have to be role models, but just making sure we're making the right calls collectively.
Of course. I
make it better.
Yeah, I agree. I want to be able to get a house without having my mom to sign with me. Even if my credit score is great, because content creation is only like a 10-year-old thing. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Another thing is I want to eventually be on a music production staff for a development company. So for example, if any Blizzard employees listening out there, if Blizzard were to say, hey, we need some music people up in here or whatever, or someone to shadow us, I would be more than happy to jump on that. It doesn't even have to be Blizzard. Could be Riot.
Nice,
could be
Nintendo, if Blizzard or Riot,
Valve hit her up.
Yeah.
Thanks for a nice Dota 2. I'd use it.
Hey Valve, unban me. But like, if Blizzard
Oh my god.
No. I just mixed that up with a back band. I just heard the V in it. That's Modern Warfare. That's whatever. Hey, if you guys are listening to, work with her, but hey, hit me up too. Like, no, but that's I think that's a really cool goal to have. I think like you mentioned earlier, having a realistic goal and also, follow your dreams too are both very important. That is a realistic goal, I feel. You're putting yourself in position for that luck. If that does take luck, that luck to happen. Like, this wouldn't happen if you weren't uploading or if you weren't doing things, right? If you weren't making moves. So And now, also working with Team Liquid, looks amazing on a resume. And God, saying a resume sounds so weird. I have not
I know.
like even now, bro, even if we emailed somebody, that's like our resume there. Hey, like I get this amount of numbers. I don't got to like make like a formal page and back and forth type of thing.
We call it what was it? It's media deck now.
Yeah, yeah.
A media deck.
Oh yeah. I mean, because of all the experience we racked up during YouTube, like that resume is stacked.
Yeah, it is. If I ever did one, which I hate doing, absolutely hate doing. Luckily I have a manager now, so she'll write it for me if I ever need one. But I absolutely hate that sort of thing. That's cool. Again, like I think just to take away, like pave your path and work hard. And I really do hope you continue to make remixes too, because like as a fan of your remixes, right? And especially with Sword and Shield, I think their music is. I cannot get over how good the trailer theme remix is. I showed that. I got Key and Call, I believe, when it came out, and we were listening to it. Like it's that good. But yeah, I really do hope that you continue to push this out, like wherever life takes it, because like there's a lot of people out there a lot of YouTubers when they get caught up, they just you might see them still tweeting on Twitter, but their last upload 8 months ago, and they I don't feel like you mentioned like a responsibility, but we do and don't, and obviously uploading should be when you want to. Obviously, at some points you kind of have to, right, if you're paying your bills. Yeah. But there should be this want behind it too. Like I do hope you're not one of those that, and I could see, I'm pretty sure not, that was just like one day just leave like without saying anything or be like that like other people, because you have this powerful impact, and you do bring a lot of people together as well through your. I've gotten comments that say, "Hey, I don't really watch competitive Pokemon, but that's a GlitchxCity remix in the background." Like, oh, hey, clean. You got a new subscriber. I was like, oh, nice.
I would say it would depend on the creator, because I've known creators that took whatever they learned and brought it to a bigger picture. There was one creator I met over the summer that lives not too far from me. I checked out his channel. Like, he still creates content, but because he's using his skills for a much larger project, like I'm talking insanely large project, it's understandable, why the uploads have slowed down. He still does like, a live stream here and there, and then does a music piece like once every, he said about 6 to 8 months, because his production quality is high end, and if you watch it, you can understand why.
This boy putting out movies, like full movies, and this thing is like that. Like it's actually.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Okay. Don't tell. Don't. We keep it how it is. I mean, that makes sense in that regard. Like, for music people in general, right? Like, you've seen people go off YouTube and to become actual like stars, right?
Lindsay Sterling, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the violin player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually who I was thinking about her thing with Pentatonics.
Pentatonics is so good.
Yeah, they're like when their collab. I was thinking about their collab that they did, and how in that regard it's understandable. Like obviously you're still doing things on a platform. It's just bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, if that happens for you and you end up composing music for Pokemon, obviously I'd be happy for you, or whatever game, or you work with Blizzard or did anything, we'd be happy for you in that regard. That's different. I feel like that's different too. But like I fil like people just leave and I'm gonna go back to the grocery store and work there, like type of thing. I don't know. I can't.
Sometimes it's not paying the bills.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes it's just not worth the stress. Yeah. Sometimes it is paying the bills, but you'd rather just work a 9 to 5.
Like, it all depends on the creator when it comes down to it. Like there's a lot of factors that goes into it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't want to be selfish and say anything. It's just like I just feel like if you have this and you just go ghost, at least give a reason.
Ghost, like right? Phantom.
At least give me a reason behind it. But as I mentioned, huge fan of the content, and I love when a new game comes out because we get some sick remixes from you.
I just like it in general when a new game comes out, because you'll see different types of content. My favorite things to look forward to is animations.
In like animations for the
just like parody animations. So for example, Terminal Montage, animation god. I look forward to his content. I'm pretty sure whenever Sword and Shield gets released, he's probably going to do another Pokemon Battle Royale animation. You haven't seen it?
Is he the guy that put up years ago like a Rayquaza fighting in like the desert, or maybe I'm thinking about somebody else? I've gone through so much content in the years. It's really hard to remember.
I need to link it to you.
Definitely. I mean, link it in the verified topic. I'll check it out after. I don't mind. I'm most excited for new music to use on my videos. I'll be real. Like I think this goes for a lot of content creators. Like I'll sometimes watch a video that I feel like, the content itself is fine, but you know, I was having a semi day, and I feel like the narrative, like my tone is a little bit mid. Hold up, she just uploaded this hype music. This makes this video sound a million times better. Like just getting rid of the dead air and like things like that. Like you definitely, I feel like you do more for us as content creators than you may think. And of course, I don't know
what
necessarily.
happens.
I feel like you do. I really feel like you do. Music I feel like music makes a video. I'll be real.
Man, she's gonna start charging you, bro. You better.
No, we had this whole piece. Now she can't charge me yet. Not until Spotify is reaching YouTube and YouTube reaches Spotify. We got time. We got a couple of years.
Ooh.
Algorithm's pretty bad right now, so we got some time. Luckily, YouTube on my side right now. But so I did want to, like I said, we finally have a name for this little topic at the end where we just ask 6 questions to you. But we call it Picking the Lock. And obviously for the viewers listening, this is where we just ask 6 already predetermined questions that we already gave her, or anybody, obviously, and just see what she thought. So I will take the first one. I'm going to go from the bottom. If you lived in a colonial or medieval village, what would your job be? She about to start making some like music with these sticks and like some rocks.
Nah, I would either be a knight training other knights or a dragon slayer if dragons were a thing.
So you just slay them? If they were a thing, you'd slay them?
You would be slaying dragons out here.
What about how you train your dragon?
I would own one, but
slay the others so nobody else can. That's just selfish.
I don't know. It's like I love Skyrim. I always gravitated towards that type of, class or whatever. I would be a warrior regardless in the medieval times. I would be a warrior.
I mean, when you're a human and they're like dragons and everything,
being a knight looks so damn exhausting though, bro. Their suit's made of metal.
Yeah, I was thinking that 80 isn't that like 80 pounds extra added to you? Like, damn, bro. Let me just go barefoot and get shot by an arrow. It'd be better than
make me the village idiot, bro. I'm out there clowning for the king or something.
But you would get paid. You would get if you were the clown for the king, you would be set for life. Like honestly.
Yeah, I get, but you say the wrong words, man. He's gonna cancel you.
Off with your head. Off with your head.
Straight to the guillotine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little risky. Question 2. We're going down from. We're going.
I just want because that last top one is the last one.
Okay,
so I just
okay. What is a childhood habit or preference that you'll never outgrow?
Pushing my chair in.
Pushing your chair in?
Yeah.
You'll never outgrow. I mean, I guess that's good. That's good manners. Pushing your chair in. At least you're not pushing it out.
It's actually a pet peeve when people don't push their chairs. I'm like, what are you, raised in a barn? And I'm the one pushing the chair in.
I agree. I actually agree. Like, I didn't think about it like that. Like, pushing my own chair in just comes naturally because this is what I was raised to do.
Yeah.
It wasn't even raised to do. They just told me it once. And I was like, okay, I'll do it.
It's safety too. It's a safety thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I've been leaving with friends in a restaurant. Like, are you an animal? What you doing right now, bro? Like, this person got to come back and do the thing. That's true. That's a good one. I didn't think about that. I don't know. I feel like my habit is playing Pokemon.
It's not a habit.
It's a habit, bro.
I'm using habit and hobby.
My hobby is a habit, bro. It's probably
a habit of playing.
It's probably a disease too. I'm addicted. Like it's an addiction.
Playing Pokemon again.
That's habit. Hey, a habit doesn't have to be bad,
bro.
We're pushing a chair.
It can be a healthy habit.
Exactly. That's why
it's an obsession. If you push chairs in obsessively. That's a nightmare.
She's just running around making a scene when she does it.
She's still sitting in it. She's over there.
Get in there.
Your chair and scoot up a little bit.
If you've had more than one job, which job taught you the most? I feel like this is an easy one.
It's an easy one, but a complicated answer. So I guess it was a job, but it was like kind of a payless job. Because I was still working to get paid. So while I was in college, I was also in the NROTC program studying to become a military officer in the Marine Corps.
Nice.
3 years. in the unit, and I've basically got a lot of my values and a lot of my adulthood from that program. And it was basically a job because you had people on scholarship. I was working to get on scholarship because you would get a stipend each month. But I still treat it like a job because if you really boil it down, it was a 24/7 job being trained by both Naval and Marine Corps officers and stuff. So I had to grow up super fast, taking on college, YouTube, and getting some military training while in college and stuff. It taught me a lot about life and a lot about just being a decent human being, honestly.
I did not know that part about you, so that's awesome. I learned a little bit more. I think the next one's yours, Key.
If you could know either when you die or how you die, which would you choose, if either?
I would say how, because if I knew when, I would just be paranoid.
See, I actually chose the other one for the same reason, because like knowing how you die, you're like, let's say you know that you're gonna die in a car accident. Now I'm anxious every time I'm in a car. If I just knew when, I know I'm problem free until that time comes.
Yeah, I felt like I'd choose when too. And if they gave me a date that's like 50 years ago, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna forget this anyway. I guess not a big deal to me. But like if again like
if they told me the next 30 years I was definitely not gonna die, bro, I'd be performing feats of supernatural humans.
I mean, if they told me in the next 30 years, if they told me in the next 60 years I wasn't gonna die, I'd be like, okay, I already knew that. Like they need to tell me the exact date.
You wouldn't take on like a new life of like daredevil achievements, like
because I'm living to 85 at the min. I think I'm fine living my life.
But would you be healthy all the way up until then?
But the thing is, do I have to be healthy though? If I'm guaranteed to live till at least 85, right? That means no matter what decision I make up to there, I might be immortal up until that point. I might be immortal. Like
you fuck up and get brain dead or something, man. That's not living.
Yeah. What if you're in a coma for like 20 plus years?
Hopefully that happens when I'm 85. Then.
Bro, get gone.
What is the most ordinary seeming thing you find fascinating?
People being able to skate backwards.
Like on a skateboard?
What do you mean? Is there a front and a back to a skateboard?
I don't know.
Feels like it just is dependent on which way you're facing. Just turn around.
What if they're facing forward and they're just skating backwards? I was just asking.
Have you not played Tony Hawk?
I have.
Well, exactly. It's like in ice hockey or like a roller rink. I can never pick it up. I'm like, how are people able to skate backwards? I can never do it.
I can't even skate forwards. What's going on?
It's crazy. How do they do it backwards? That's witchcraft. I never even thought about it. But what do you lean backwards? I have to lean forward just to skate that moment. That's crazy. Oh my god,
bro! Look at the video. It's wild.
I gotta give you a pair of skates and figure this out. A grown man buying skates in 2010.
Nobody's buying skates.
A grown man. All right, where are we at? Last one. What is a rant that you've been holding in?
Ooh. So I had a lot, but I figured I would choose something that would relate more towards us because all my other rants would just be complaining about baby boomers.
Go off, sis.
Oh, you complain about baby boomers. Oh, we do that. We do that on the daily in the other chat.
Oh man. So this rant is basically creators are held to owe something to their audience. Like I hate that mentality because in reality, we don't necessarily owe you anything. We don't when it comes down to it. And I hate it. So for example, perfect example, Ninja. He left Twitch for Mixer because he got a better deal with Mixer. And obviously in the replies, there's a lot of his younger fans and honestly some of his older fans too saying, why would you do this after everything we've done for you? I mean, yes, you helped, like you were there for Ninja's, growth and all that, but he put in the work for you guys to come there in the first place. And it shouldn't be brought down on the creator that we have to 100% give back to every single one of you guys, because when it comes down to it, I always live by the motto, mind your own business, unless someone's doing something illegal or harmful to someone else.
Damn, man. We could have had a whole podcast on this question. Keep going. Sorry.
And I want to relay this to all the listeners. Content creators that you adore and admire, they don't owe you anything. We are not your slaves. We're not your god. Please don't put us at that status. We're literally just ordinary people doing what we love to do while also putting bread on the table. If we decide to make an action that goes against why you guys followed us in the first place, then that's a you thing. We're like, a creator could be trying to figure out what they want to do next, or they're moving on to something else. That's our choice. And this part right here, what I'm about to say, depends on the creator. Either the audience influences what the creator does or it doesn't. But at the end of the day, we don't owe our audience anything. Not saying that we're not grateful for everything that, you know, has come our way, all the opportunities and stuff. But like I said, we're just regular people, man.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's like it's like, you know, I make the content, you view it, and then transaction over. We don't have a lasting like deal past that. Like, you can either stop watching the new content if you don't like it, or continue. It's really case by case.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same though. I'm a little bit, I want to say a little bit more grateful, because at times, like, even like my viewers bought me a 3DS, right? If they didn't buy me a 3DS with a capture card, well, actually, one of my friends sent me their 3DS. They paid for my capture card. If they didn't, I wouldn't be in this position. So when I always want to give back to my viewers, but at the same time, I know that if something in life happened and I had to change up how I did things, I do it, because this is my life at the end of the day. Yeah. Like, I mean, love that my viewers helped me pay for my wedding. Love that they helped me get my car. And, you know,
that wasn't for free though. You
I gave them my content. Yeah, I provided my content.
Yeah,
I gave them this and they did this. Yeah, that's the type of thing. Like, I always, I do keep what they say in mind, but I always at the end of the day say, I'm going to do what I like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do what I love. And, you know, if it doesn't match up, that's completely fine. Ideally it does. And, you know, you can't please everyone. That's a big thing to get from that.
That's one thing that both creators and audience should realize, is that not everyone is going to be pleased with 100% that you're doing. And I feel like creators across all platforms should have a definitive line between themselves and the viewers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. And I think that what Ninja's doing is amazing. Not only for him, that dude's at like 1.3 million subscribers on Mixer.
Bro, that boy got
I wanted the subs.
Yeah. Hey, I
support the move, man. Support.
I'm just saying, I signed up on Mixer and my name is like Buckle Medusa Head, and I have no idea how to change that. So I immediately signed off. I tried to claim my name and it became Buckle Medusa Head.
That's gonna be your rebrand for you.
But yeah, I mean, he did what was best for him, and it's actually amazing for gaming as a whole, because Twitch is gonna have competition. Right? Part of the reason, yeah, exactly. Part of the reason YouTube isn't changing is because they ain't much to fight it out there, right? But you got this new streaming platform, not new, but you got this streaming platform that's actually making heavy moves. That's amazing.
But here's the thing, like, YouTube is more grandfathered in than Twitch, because like what Twitch is going through right now, like YouTube already went through like the ups and downs, and I would say the same thing for the creators. Like, if you looked at the news in our industry recently, it's mostly, you know, Twitch streamers. And I'm like, we basically had this lesson, us personally, like what, 5, 6, 7 years ago. I was telling that to B earlier too. Is like, I'm seeing a pattern. Like, I don't know. I'm like, Twitch is not my platform, but I'm seeing things that stick out to me that should not be an issue on Twitch.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely with you. It's interesting too, because, you know, 2 years ago, you'll see people be like, yeah, Twitch listens to their creators, man. YouTube doesn't. And now it's like, Twitch doesn't listen to its creators. We're all more in a Mixer type of thing. History repeats itself at the end of the day. You see what you want to see and you hear what you want to hear as well. I think that's a big thing too. And damn, man, like I said, that question, we might have to start a podcast with that question. Because if we don't know what we want to talk about with somebody, that's a question that can go.
That's half the time.
I'm saying, like, right now I could talk with Glitch. I know she has to go like really soon, but I could talk with that for a long time and just see different perspectives on that. But I mean, I do want to wrap it up with that. I appreciate you not only coming on the podcast, but also reaching out to me before I reached out to you, because you were 100% on the list. Like, when I say that to you, I wasn't lying, but I do appreciate you coming out on the Lock podcast. If you have anything that you want to shout out, or links or anything, obviously it'll all be, down below on whatever platform we upload this on, all of them. But,
you don't know the format of every single platform. It might not be down below. It might be to the left, to the right.
I'm just saying there will be. It's youtube.com/GlitchxCity. Like it's that. That's it. But anything you want to shout out, any project you have coming out, or any remixes you're excited about, or whatever you want to tell the viewers, feel free to. Now is the floor is yours.
Subscribe to Game Chops on YouTube. Check him out on Twitter. There's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out within the next couple of months. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nice.
Shout out to my girlfriend V. She's amazing. She was actually talking to me about the podcast, and I was like, why hasn't Joey hit me up? Let me hit him up.
I told you were definitely on our list. I didn't expect our last 3 people to flake. But you were 100% on our list, and shout out to V as well, because I know that she does support the podcast. I see her retweets and like comments on different things. So thank you so much for coming out on the lock. I really do appreciate it. And it's been awesome getting to know somebody that I've listened to for years, not necessarily the same way I've listened to your work, I guess. I'm a fan of your work, obviously. It's not like you're doing like LPs anymore, but
hashtag big fan.
I hate that term, man. I hate fans, and I don't hate fans, but I hate the term fan. Check out Glitch. You guys can follow us on twitter.com/lockpodcast. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.